Welcome to From Gamers with Love, episode 4. We've been in a nice little hiatus for a while.
Well, it wasn't that long. 2 months.
2 months? Is it 2 months?
Yeah, November.
October.
Late October. Anyways, new year, back with a new episode.
New episode.
It's our New Year episode, and we're going to talk about what we played over our Christmas time, or holiday time, whatever you want to say.
What we wanted to play but didn't get it.
Aww.
Welcome to the yearly podcast.
Yearly.
No, it's going to start being bi-weekly again.
Hopefully.
It better.
Oh, it should. Well, I mean, the holidays are over and New Year's is done.
That's why a lot of them got stalled out, was just the holidays. But now, now stuff can get back on track.
Yeah, there was,
Halloween. My drug addiction.
No, there was Thanksgiving, and Dave was in rehab, and then there was that girl from Match that kidnapped him and had him in that cabin, like in the movie.
And then we had to ransom him off again for the 4th time, David. You think you'd learn?
Yeah.
Speaking of kept up in a cabin, Dave and I were playing Rust. Was this new game that's an alpha? It's kind of like a multiplayer Don't Starve.
It's basically Minecraft and DayZ. Did like a whole fusion hot dance and then made that.
Yeah, and he built a little shelter for me, and I was like, yeah, and I went into the shelter, and
then
I was
killed
just
you?
out, putting my bedroll in the corner and making my campfire, and it's like, oh, I also built a door for you, and built it. Turns out, if you build the door, it's locked to anyone else but you.
So he locked you in the cabin?
Fucking cabin.
On accident. But it was at night, and I didn't want him walking around and like attracting other people, so I like opened the door and threw in some meat and then closed it.
He's a prisoner in your game world. That's great.
Is it really the game? Is it Game World, or is this real? Is this a cry for help?
Help me!
Wow, we've never had an episode where we actually went straight to talking about games. There's something new.
It is, isn't it?
You want to fix that, John? You want to talk about some news, game news?
So I haven't talked to my father in 5 years, and
which is odd because our room is right next.
Which
is odd because our room is right next to his.
Yeah. So.
No, but I have a list of games I played. Some I finished, some I didn't. So I mean, a good amount of them.
Yeah, no.
And then Art's been playing a mobile game or two.
Yes, Brave Frontier. It gave me a sample of it while playing 4 Picks 1 Word. I
tried watching that online, but it wanted my credit card.
What is Brave Frontier?
Yeah.
I've heard about that.
Brave Frontier is like it's basically a turn-based game. You pick 5 heroes or whatever. There's summon. Like, you're a summoner and you get like 5 guys. You pick one, your first guy.
And you head out for the frontier?
I don't even know if it's a frontier or not. And each character you pick is just an element, basically. He's represented by an element like flame, earth, water, thunder, and holy. No, this isn't.
Earth, wind,
this isn't
fire.
Captain Planet.
Do they summon? Oh,
no, they don't summon Captain Planet. No. I wish they did. And then light and dark.
Did anyone ever find out what Captain Planet is made out of? Like, what is he? He's all like crystal meth or something like that. I don't know what he's made out of.
He's made out of pure love, dude. What are you talking about? Okay, that's what crystal meth is.
he's like a polygon. He's like a PlayStation 1 person. I don't know. He's just a little polygony.
He's the original Matrix. He's the one.
Who is?
What? Captain America. Captain
America.
Planet. Captain Planet. Like, what is he made out of? He looks like crystal meth.
Well, Morpheus told us that Captain America was the one. He can see the Matrix.
You mean Captain Planet? That's what I'm saying. He was the original, the one.
I thought Mega Man came up before Captain Planet.
America. Fucking just... I'm imagining...
Captain America and the Matrix.
Oh, no. Can we have Keira Eels play the...
Who?
Keanu Reeves?
Keanu Reeves?
Did he say Keira Eels? I'm like, who the hell is Keira Eels?
I thought he was trying to say Carrie Elways.
Well, John, I think we found the name of the podcast episode.
And it was quick, too.
Keira Eels.
I just gotta figure out how to spell that.
I was like, who is this chick? She kind of sounds hot.
Holy shit. That just sounds like a miniature stroke or something?
She's Hawaiian. It's from all that breakfast you've been eating.
I was about to Google him, like, Kia. I was about to disagree with him, like, yeah, Keira Eels. And I'm like, looking at him, like, who the fuck's Keira Eels?
I want Keanu Reeves to play Captain America.
Oh God.
Yeah, Avengers.
I'm not gonna lie, I would watch that.
I would.
And just like
You know
just
what?
watch Captain America.
I want him to play Superman with Ben Affleck as Batman.
He'd upstage Ben Affleck.
But at least Ben Affleck could be like, at least I'm not the one that sucks in this movie.
I would take Keanu Reeves in any role over Ben Affleck.
I know.
Maybe not dead guy on street. Maybe not dead guy on street. Who, Ben Affleck?
Let's see. There's
He acts.
Daredevil,
There's Daredevil,
there's
Gia.
Geely. There's Geely.
And don't get me wrong, no, he does have a good section of roles. Like if he's playing a Boston cop kind of character or something like that, he's really good. Mm-hmm. There are things he's really good at, but a lot of things he's just
So a hero he cannot play. Or apparently a hitman like in Geely.
Yeah, he was not good in that. He was not. Daredevil failed on a lot of levels. It wasn't all his fault. One of the few movies I like with him was Paycheck, and it would have been better if it was like Keanu Reeves or Matt Damon.
You're right. Paycheck was actually pretty
Paycheck
good.
was a good movie, but it would have been better without him. He played a great douchebag in Mallrats.
You know, I never saw.
And to be honest,
honestly.
you know what? I saw Mallrats before most of his other movies. Maybe that kind of tarnishes my image of him a little bit. But he was good in Armageddon. I mean,
yeah,
he was good. He was good enough for what it was.
I think Aerosmith was better in Armageddon.
Yeah, and they weren't even in the movie.
They didn't have to be. Oh, Bruce Willis was the best.
Yeah, no, he was.
No, Steve. Well, yeah, I was gonna say Steve Buscemi was pretty good too. Throwing the money around the strip club and starts that fight.
I'm just messing around.
I know you are.
Don't forget Liv Taylor.
I like Ben Affleck.
Like I said, I think he has roles he's good at. Like that movie where they were getting the prisoners out, where they were like kidnapped or whatever. Just came out recently. It was based off a true story. It had to do with Israel. Yeah, Argo. He's good in stuff like that. He actually is a much better serious actor than he is when he makes action or comedy.
Mm-hmm. Poor bastard.
It's better. I will say he makes a better superhero than Nick Cage.
But Nick Cage.
No, let's say Kick-Ass, because you got to remember Nick Cage was Ghost Rider.
I was about to say besides Ghost Rider, I'm like, all right.
Did he have to make any other ones?
Part 2 was horrible.
They thought about Nick Cage as Superman because he loves Superman. That. He always wanted to be Superman. I'm like, are you fool?
Can we just omit Ghost Rider from human history?
Part 1 wasn't bad. Part 2 was horrible.
By it wasn't bad, he means yeah.
It was okay.
Okay, here you go.
Compared to 2.
Okay, I'll put it in terms from our other podcast. Ghost Rider is kind of like Alien 3. I may not have liked it, but it had some merit. Mm-hmm. I think it shouldn't exist, but hey, it's just me.
No, Part 2 shouldn't exist. They should have left it with Part 1.
I forgot how much we talked about aliens on that podcast.
Did you just say Part 2 shouldn't exist?
Ghost Rider Part 2?
Ghost Rider Part 2 shouldn't exist.
Oh, they said. I think you meant aliens.
No.
No.
To me, the second one's like the best of the 4.
Speaking of it, this is a good segue. Speaking of aliens, have you seen
Colonial Marines?
the trailer?
No, there's a great game coming out. He's about to say it. Go ahead.
For Alien, was it Isolation?
Yes. It looks phenomenal.
Really?
It looks...
So did Colonial Marines.
No. It's one alien. It's like the first movie. It's one alien. It's supposed to be more like a horror kind of game than action.
Like Dead Space horror?
Like alien horror. Because Dead Space didn't just have one creature.
Uh-huh.
My understanding is it's one alien. Huh?
It's paying a lot of tribute to the first movie.
It looks good.
And I saw some developer stuff, and they were talking about how they were disappointed in the other games, so they're just like, why don't we just make one on the first movie?
In fact, I actually posted the PC Gamer article on our Facebook page, and there was somebody talking with us about it. And, I mean, really, the last really good Alien game I remember playing was Alien vs. Predator on, like, Jaguar, and then the one I had for the PC was good. But
Alien vs. Predator. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, before the movies. I mean, this is like late 90s. The Jaguar version was early 90s, and then there was a PS1 version, which was good, too. It was really a dark kind of game, and then the music was like...
I think I remember that.
Real tense and stuff, and then all of a sudden,
it
would crawl up the screen.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I played that one.
That was good.
That was good.
Do you remember the Alien vs. Predator arcade beat-em-up from Capcom?
Yes.
Vaguely, yeah.
I do. I love that one. That one's actually really fun. That was mine too.
Actually, I hate saying that my favorite Aliens game. Well, okay, Alien vs. Predator for PC, but other than that, one I have a very good fondness for is Aliens on Commodore 64. That's how long ago. Like when the movie came out, I have the game. I like that game.
As long as you like it, John.
There was an Alien vs. Predator 2 for the PC, which is actually really good. That's like the best one I've ever played.
What about
never
the
played the
Shining
second one.
Jewel Colonial Marines?
God,
The guy that was
Son
the guy that was
of all of
talking to
them?
me on Facebook, Ryan. He, I said, yeah, I haven't played Colonial Marines yet, but the other guys did, and I haven't heard good about it. He goes, it kind of starts off okay, and then it just tanks. I'm like, okay.
It didn't start off okay.
I thought it was
You know what? It's more like it's
No, the opening scenes must have been fine, like the CGI
no.
movie.
I think it's like a bad day. You try to salvage what you can throughout the whole day, but then after a while, you're just like, this is just a total
Well,
loss.
I mean, for him, he's a huge Alien fan, so I'm sure to some extent, like
I'm
he
a-
enjoyed part of it, but he said
I'm
it
a
got
pretty
bad.
decent Aliens fan myself. I like part 2 the best, like you said, Aliens.
Yeah.
I still remember like everything from that movie. So when we were playing this one, I'm like, oh, this is like Aliens, and I'm playing. I'm like, oh god, this is kind of getting pretty bad. I'm like, no, I can stomach this. I can stomach this. Come on, I can do this. Oh god, I can't do it.
Now you know how most women they hook up what you feel.
Oh,
John,
whoa.
I guess I kind
No
of
romance.
understand what you're saying, because like putting the disc in the tray was kind of fun.
Was fulfilling.
Putting your name in there, Art Attack. Oh yeah,
Netflix Live was kind of neat.
yeah.
Well, no, but I could see like, okay, I'm lenient enough that I can get past them retconning part of the movie series to make an action game that I would assume should be done decently well and should be fun. And I could
assume too much.
Well, hang on, I could picture playing the first couple levels and thinking, okay, they're not. There's been worse games. We know there's been worse games. We've all played worse games. But then,
Yeah, it's called the Wii U.
yeah, anything on the Wii U. But I can also see shortly after the first couple missions going, what the fuck?
Yeah, I've played a couple of games that were worse, and like some like shitty Flash games. They're pretty bad.
Listen. When you put a red dot scope on a pulse rifle, that makes me cry a lot. There was a red dot scope on a pulse rifle, John. There was a red dot scope on a pulse rifle.
They put scopes on M. They put red dot scopes on M4A1s, and
And
it
then they
makes no
painted it
sense
gold,
either.
John. They painted it gold.
Yeah, there. If there were no gold weapons, that's still a plus.
They were gold.
It was okay, and then we
Maybe
were
there's gonna
shooting
be-
aliens. Me and Talon were shooting aliens, and then the doors open up, and then Wayland Yutani mercenaries come out, and it's Call of Duty. It's just bad. It's just so bad, John.
You know what?
I don't want to go back there.
I think that's probably where he said it got just really bad was when that happened. I didn't really talk too in depth with the guy, but he's a nice guy. I've talked to him before.
I think when I landed on the planet and the alien looked just wrong, crawling at me, just no, this doesn't seem right.
You know, it's funny. It's funny. Talon mentioned Flash games because now we have a segue, even though it got past us a couple minutes.
So that's the
I played a game called Machinarium. Machinarium.
Machinarium.
Something like that.
Machinarium.
It's a Flash game, and I will say it's probably the best Flash game ever played.
Ever?
Yeah, it's really well done. That being said, the controls weren't bad. It was point and click, obviously. The drawing was kind of neat. It was you're on a planet of robots, and the bad guy robots who look like mafia robots do something to the leader of the planet, and he like doesn't run it anymore. They kind of run it, and they know that you and your girlfriend saw it, so they kidnap her and they throw you outside of the city.
Of course they do.
So you have to get your way back into the city. And the drawing wasn't bad. The artwork wasn't bad. It was kind of cutesy and whimsical. Not like, you know, it was kind of neat. Everything was kind of shades of gray, but you could still see where everything was. Nothing, you know. Some of the puzzles, some of them were pretty good. I'm not a puzzle game fan, so of course it took me a little longer, just because, like, I'll have everything I need to be picked up, and then be like, well, why isn't it working? Oh, because on the other side of the screen there's a button that's 4 feet in the air I didn't see. But whatever.
Not pro, John.
I never claimed to be pro.
And you never will be.
The
With that attitude.
storyline, it's hard to talk about because that's not my phone. But it's hard to talk about the
I thought
storyline
Talon
because
was getting
it's
some,
in
like,
it's
music
in
involved.
a different language.
What?
Because the robots don't speak English, so it's just it's like that.
Like R2D2?
Not even. So that's
Is it like the Star Fox talk when they go jib jib jab or something like that?
yeah, kind of.
Or is it like the Geth?
No.
Mass Effect.
You're like the Gethard.
I know, right?
Anyways, it's it's not a bad game. I mean, it was cheap. I know it was out on, I think,
What's
PSP or
cheap?
Vita. It was like, I think I got it for like $5.
That's not cheap.
Really? $5 isn't cheap when games cost $70. Okay.
$2, $2.50 is cheap. Or better yet, Brave Frontier free.
You know, if you guys want, I can replace him.
No. then this podcast will be racist because there's 3 white guys and only 1 Mexican. And then you can get rid of the Mexican and be like, Ku Klux Klan, the KKK. See, there's 3 of you. K, and then K. Bam.
I'll replace you. Replace you with a girl.
Ooh.
And I have 1 or 2 I can put in that spot.
Are they Mexican?
It doesn't have to be. They're girls.
No,
they're girls and they're somewhat attractive, so it doesn't matter.
Yes, people will. Somebody, I'll know.
I'll know. But anyways, it wasn't really expensive.
$5. You said on the Vita?
It was on Vita and I think it was on the Vita. I played it on PC. I got it off Steam during the Steam sale.
You know what?
It's on Steam?
They had a huge Steam sale. Yeah, it's on
Steam
Steam.
does not have Mass Effect 3.
EA doesn't release every game to Steam. That's why, because EA has their own origin system.
Yeah, I know.
So sometimes you'll get it through Steam, sometimes you can't, or sometimes they'll wait a year or wait a few months and then put it on Steam.
Dicks.
So gameplay, you know what? Overall,
How many hours do you think?
Maybe if you're really good at puzzle games, maybe 2, maybe 3.
Oh God, really? That's a whole game?
Yeah.
I'm down.
Well, that's a lot of indie games.
Yeah,
So,
I mean that's the thing. It's an indie game, so it's inexpensive.
Thank you, me.
It's probably me.
Interesting.
Tell-
And the nice thing is they're inexpensive, and it really wasn't a bad game. It was a well done game. It just wasn't. I just wasn't usually interested in it. You know, it didn't really grab me to keep me in it. Like,
So wait, you didn't finish it?
I did. I finished it.
Oh, okay.
I finished it out. Yeah, you rescued a girl, and I mean,
How did it not grab
I know,
you
that's what I'm
in?
saying. Like, it makes it seem like you gave up halfway. That's
no,
what-
no. It was.
So you
I kept playing it because I wanted to finish it.
okay.
And I mean, the story it worked out okay. You rescued a girl, you take off into the sunset, and there's some neat things like where there's a bar, and behind the door of the bar, like the gangsters are like playing a poker tournament, and you do something that floods their room, so you see like the robots just floating. So I mean, there's some neat little things, and yeah, it wasn't. I'd recommend playing it if you got a couple hours, you want something new, go for it. I mean, but it's not Assassin's Creed or Mass Effect or
none of them are anymore. John.
Oh well, I got a couple.
Creed.
I got a couple of them on here that are pretty damn good though. So I'd say go ahead and give it a shot, especially if you can get it for like $5. It's worth it.
Why not?
It wasn't the best indie game I played out of all of them. It was the best Flash game I played though, and I've played a lot of Flash games, so that kind of that does say a lot.
Indie games are getting some ridiculous production quality.
They really are, and actually, another indie game I played was Gone Home. Gone Home is a short game. It's just exploration. There's no fighting, no combat, no puzzles.
Hotel
But-
Dusk?
So what is it?
The graphics of it are pretty. The graphics and the ambient sound. It takes place. It's in I think Oregon. You're like you're a female character who comes home from a European trip. She's in college, and there's a note on the door from your sister saying, "Please don't tell mom and dad. I'll explain everything. Whatever. I'll see you again one day." So you're like, okay, something's up. No one's in the house. Some of the lights are on. Some of them are off. It's kind of spooky. TVs are on. Electronic equipment's missing, like VCRs and shit. So it's like this weird atmosphere of what's going on, and you explore the house for clues of what's going on, where everyone is, what happened, and most of the narrative is told through journal entries you find from your sister.
I'm surprised they still had VCRs.
Well, the game takes place like in 1995, 96.
Yeah.
And it looked good, and the sound was good, and the sound like effects were good, and there were neat little things. You'd find hidden passages in the house.
Your own house?
Yeah, well, no, they moved there after you went to Europe.
Oh, okay.
So it was your father's uncle's house. He died and left it to him. But you find out that like people in the town called it the crazy man's house. It drove this guy crazy, like all this weird stuff. So for a while, you don't know if it's like a paranormal kind of thing that happened, if it's something else going on.
Like the Winchester Mansion.
Yeah. So if you want to not have any spoilers, I would fast forward through this part.
Because John isn't going to spoil them in 3.
Let's give, how many minutes? How many minutes do you think it's going to take us?
Fast forward about 3 minutes.
Okay, pause.
let's take a 5-second pause. Everyone,
you're just gonna hear me
stop.
hum.
5, 4, 3,
Okay.
2, 1. So
Go.
you come home, you start exploring the house, you explore all the rooms, and you find notes about like your allegedly crazy uncle and all this, and you, through your sister's journal, you start finding out that she was going to school, she was kind of an outsider, kind of an outcast, they knew she was in the crazy house, but this one girl that was kind of popular and very pretty made friends with her, and they got closer to each other and closer, and you find, you find out eventually that that your sister was a lesbian. Like she kind of knew. Like, well, no, don't see. It's
No, and I knew it before you
ignorant
just said.
asshole.
I'm like,
so
yes.
she falls for this girl, and the girl was going away to join the military. She like always wanted to be in the military because her family was a military family. And
Your sister? Or okay.
no, not the sister, the lesbian,
That
the
is
other one.
not the correct term.
So she the reason your sister's
happened.
not in the house is because the girl decided not to join the military and got off the bus she was on somewhere, and your sister grabbed her Super Nintendo and a game they always played and some stuff and went to meet her, and then they're gonna go off because your parents said, well, they wouldn't accept that she wanted to be with this woman. They kept saying, well, you just haven't found the right boy yet.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of thing. Yeah, it was the mid-'90s, so.
Right.
You find out your parents aren't there. Basically, this girl finds out her entire life is like her entire family had been crumbling away for the year she was gone, had been crumbling apart. The mom kind of had an affair with some other guy, all this stuff, and the parents aren't there because
had an affair.
well, she started going on dates with the guy.
An affair, John.
Because they never say like she slept with the guy, but they went to concerts together and they went on like dates
She
together.
gave him a hand job. Didn't mean anything.
See, this is why you're going to be replaced. So it's actually told.
She probably did give him a hand job.
Either
If
way.
they went to a concert.
Dave. Shh. You're gonna get this. You're gonna get the gas. Shh.
But the game, the story's really well done. The way it's told through the way the narrative's told, really well done.
So
So-
it's just narrative, or like what?
Like you find these journal entries, and it's your sister's voice telling you about it. You find these hidden compartments, and there's notes from your sister in them. You find out there's hidden passageways. You find out more about your uncle. I didn't find out all the detailed stuff. I think I may have missed a few spots. But you find out more about the house. There's like all these passages in the basement you can explore. But you blaze through it in like 2 hours because you're just exploring. There's
So it's just exploring and learning about the story.
learning where everyone is. And it turns out your parents went away to a retreat that's made for couples with troubled marriages.
Is there video flashbacks, or are you just reading?
No,
this?
it's just some reading, and there's stuff. I mean, there's stuff happening in the house, like the TVs are on. You hear stuff in the background.
Does he find like a weird room with like dolls or something weird?
You find like weird like passages in the basement,
that lead to.
other passages that lead up to the second floor, like weird stuff.
No rape dungeons?
No rape dungeons, no.
That's what I was thinking. Thanks. See, I'm not the only one that thinks this
See, I'm
way.
not going to buy it now.
No, but it was actually it was definitely a game that I was really surprised that I enjoyed.
So it's a story-based game, basically.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah.
like okay.
It's the first person.
How do you get points? How do you earn the points?
Yeah, you don't.
How do you win the game?
What's the multiplayer like?
You're all fired. I could find. You know what? I could swing a cat and find 3 better hosts than this.
No, you can't. No, you can't. Let's be honest.
I got some on the other podcast.
Nah,
I got some I talked to from the other podcast.
What kind of cat, John?
A tiger, a liger.
John.
So, anyways, for those of you just tuning in, the game, or those of you coming back,
An X. Can I do a Hadouken?
but no, the game was really well done and really well put together. And I was really surprised. I wanted to keep playing to find out what the deal was, what had happened to everybody, and where they were.
So you didn't finish it?
I did finish it. You find out where the sister is, and you find out the parents went on a couples retreat, and then it's kind of like the way the ending is told. It's kind of like there's light at the end of the tunnel for your family. Like, okay,
so let me
your
get this
sister
straight.
ran away to be with this person, and she'll eventually come back when your parents accept it. Your parents are trying to fix their marriage, and now you're back.
So
you know.
your parents got couples counseling, and your sister eloped with her lesbian girlfriend.
Yeah.
That's the whole story.
And stop
Yeah.
fast forwarding now.
But it's the way it's told and how
No,
it's
no,
like
I
the
get- I-
atmosphere of the game.
No, no.
It's really done well.
No, I'm sure.
You know, that's actually like a big point of debate at this point in the game industry. Is like,
Is it a
because
game?
that would not technically
Con is a game.
under what is called a game.
Right. You know what I consider it? Back in the old days, before
Text.
no, back in like the early '90s when multimedia first came out, you had it was almost they were more like they were almost more like movies. a lot of the stuff you were playing. Mm-hmm. Like, you'd press left or right for something, but basically it was all like a movie, kind of. And that's how this was. This was kind of like just being in a movie.
It's kind of like an interactive story more than...
Yes, thank you. Like Myst or Myst 2. You know, nothing ever happened in those games. There were a few puzzles, but that was it.
I almost bought that damn game. I'm so glad I didn't.
You know what? At the time...
Dragon's Lair?
No, Dragon's Lair had action. Poor action, but it had action. I like Dragon's Lair, actually. No, but like Myst at the time looked really good graphically and stuff, and it was an innovative way of doing a game, quote unquote, at the time.
On the PlayStation, 5 discs.
Yeah,
I remember.
It was a massive. They had massively high res photos and stuff.
I was gonna buy it, and then I saw the gameplay. I'm like, oh, I'm so glad I looked this up before I did.
It's actually not a bad game at all. But like Talon said, it's one of those games. This is one of those games that pushes that boundary of, is this an interactive movie or is it a game?
So are you like in a third-person view?
No, you're first person.
First person,
yeah.
You're looking around?
Yep.
Do you get a story?
Well, I mean, your story is you're back from college, and you're trying to find out what happened to your family.
Why they're missing.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm seeing a lot of stuff about and everything like that, and you're allowed to like it, but I'm not gonna pay $20 for that thing.
That's what I was getting to. I got it on Steam sale over the holidays for less than, I think it was like $10 or less.
I'd rather get the other game for $5.
Well, this was cheap. It was like $7 something or whatever. It was pretty cheap. And at the time, and you don't really know what it's about and how long it's going to take you to finish it until you play it.
Yeah, it's like Catfish the movie. I thought it was a different movie, and they fucked me over.
Yeah, so for 60% off or whatever it was, I got it. It wasn't bad. For $20 and up, no, I would not recommend it.
Like Catherine?
Catherine, I would not recommend for free.
Oh, God.
Oh, really?
Catherine had an interesting story and premise, but the goddamn climbing gameplay got old real damn fast. I wish more of it focused on talking to the people in the bar and stuff, like more interaction that way.
Wasn't it a Persona game, basically?
Persona, I've been wanting to play those games for a while.
I never played Persona, I couldn't tell you.
It's set in a Universal Persona.
Is it?
I don't know about that.
Like in Persona 3, for the PSP, you get to talk to that guy, the main character.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've been
now I
wanting
kind of want to play
Persona
because maybe it'll make Catherine better.
Will it though?
Because the thing was, Catherine didn't look bad.
It's its own.
Wait, which Catherine?
Story,
bad Catherine or good Catherine?
Either.
Yeah, it's true.
They were but I mean, the game itself, the graphics and stuff were good.
I want the bad Catherine.
I want both.
Yeah, you would like the bad Catherine.
Anyways,
bad.
Gone Home. If you Gone Home. If you can get it for $10 or less, I say go for it. It's worth playing. They did if they added traditional gameplay. If they ever made a traditional game and used that same skill set that they used to put this, because the mansion's pretty well done and it's big. If they use that same skill set to build an actual game, like per definition, it would probably be really good.
It could be
a demo kind of thing.
Yeah, it could be a good example of like what their capabilities as artists is.
It needs more
That's
guns.
true.
You know what though? I agree with Talon on that because I think that's a really good way to if you could do something like that. I mean, because remember, Portal was an add-on for Half-Life, for Half-Life 2 for when it first came out, I believe. Was it Portal? Yeah, Portal was.
And then it became its own thing.
And then it became its own thing with a sequel. And then Gary's mod is hugely popular, and that uses Half-Life 2 and allows you to craft things and do your own game elements. And people, a lot of mods, a lot of official things, or a lot of things that are now games started off like that. Counter-Strike was originally a mod.
Really?
Yeah, Counter-Strike was a mod for Half-Life 1, and then
so was Team Fortress.
Yeah, Team Fortress was for Quake. We used to play it all the time. So it could develop that way. Like I said, it played well. It looked really good. The graphics were pretty good. You could you could pick up a cassette tape from your sister's room and put it in the tape player and play it. You can turn on the record player and it lights up. And the detail on that stuff was really well done. So if these guys decided to take traditional gameplay elements like we know and make a game with that level of detail, it would put Hard Rain to shame. Put it that way.
Can you imagine?
So here's an interesting thought, John. You said that your complaint with Catherine was that it was like the gameplay was too boring. Maybe they.
No, he just doesn't like puzzles. That's why.
No, I didn't mind the puzzles in Catherine. I minded the constant climbing part of it.
That's the puzzles.
I don't consider it a puzzle.
So I don't know.
But I didn't have problems going through those levels.
Can you imagine if they made popular books, like say The Great Gatsby, and not into a movie, but into this, like the game that you're describing, they turn the game into like the story. Like you're playing as Gatsby, and like the whole time.
There's a fighting game based on Les Miserables.
Les Miserables.
Les Miserables, the Miserables.
Les Miserables.
Everyone wonders why. And I love the people that never saw it before that are like, it was so sad. It's called The Miserables.
Yeah.
I didn't know the whole thing was sung.
Yeah.
I thought it was a musical, but I didn't think every damn line was singing.
But no, you know what though? That's a great idea though. There's no reason. Okay, first off, most games based off movies suck, right? Let's agree to that.
Most
Generally,
based off movies
games that come out that are tied into movies.
There's a few. Yeah, I could.
There's a few good ones.
Okay, here I'm gonna list them. I'm listing for everyone. Spider-Man 2, King Kong.
Yeah,
I played King Kong.
it was pretty good actually.
The Chronicles of Riddick games.
Yeah,
I heard they were going to want to play them.
Those are good too.
Star Wars: Revenge of the Sith.
Star Wars games are hard to judge.
Star Wars: Revenge of the Sith for the DS is the better version.
Is it? I played for the I played for the PlayStation. So,
but generally, games based off the movies aren't great. If you just took a movie like Gatsby and did this to it, it wouldn't be that it was like gameplay fun, but it'd be interactive fun where it's like, I am Gatsby.
Yeah, that's my point.
Yeah.
Like, I think more kids would actually read learn about the damn book if they did it in this game form.
Yeah.
I would actually learn about more.
I mean, there's a lot of things that have come out lately that have been, by definition, not games, but are still enjoyable to play. It's still entertaining. This was entertaining to me because I wanted to know what was going on. Was it something supernatural? Was it not? You know, I wanted to explore everything. You know, you go and there's a door that's locked. The attic's locked. You can't get into it. And your sister leaves a note saying, "Oh God, what's in the attic? Please don't." You know, like, so you think there's something horrible up there. So you want to know what's up there.
Would you find out what was up there?
We were past that part.
Oh fuck! Can you tell me later now? I want to know.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, you know, there were elements that made it. You know, I wouldn't say it was a puzzle, but you had to figure out where to go, how to get around things, how to find where the keys are.
And you said you didn't open everything or get on.
I probably missed a few cabinets or so because you can open up like every cabinet and.
It's fucking everything in your house is locked. Oh well.
No, cabinets and stuff were open and everything, but there were a few doors that were locked to like a few rooms, and then you open a door and the room's dark and there's like a light in the far corner flickering, so it's that creepy feel. And there's a thunderstorm going on outside. You hear the rain on the windows. So all that was so well done that if they made it if they took, like you said, a movie, did it this well as a game, granted not really a game, but as, you know, it would be enjoyable. Yeah,
it's an interactive story.
Because another one I played that is another game, quote unquote, was the Stanley Parable.
I was really interested in that, and that actually seems to me like it would be more qualifying as a game than the other.
It is slightly more qualifying, but it's
choices.
Yeah, but
it's an interactive story.
But it only took me an hour to finish all 6 endings.
What?
It's fast. It's really a neat concept, and that's what it is. It's got a great voiceover. It's got a great narrator that interacts with you.
Morgan Freeman?
No. There's some English guy.
Patrick Stewart?
No.
Fuck.
It's actually it's another one that I recommend, and you can get it cheaper if you watch. But it's actually really interesting because it starts off, you're in a cubicle, and the narrator's like, Stanley always sits in this cubicle, and Stanley presses the button that they tell him to press when it comes up on the screen. And every day Stanley does this, and then one day the instructions on the screen stopped coming, and Stanley didn't know what to do. So he sat there, and he sat there for days. And then finally Stanley decided to see what was going on. And he went out the door and looked around, and everyone was gone. Maybe they were in the break room, he thought to himself. You know, so that's how the narrators. So you start exploring the office, and it's funny because he's like, you go into another office to look, or you look at a desk, he goes, he turned the computer off for no real reason because he's supposed to be going to the break room. Maybe this detour will help him think, you know, it's like this sarcastic, like, voiceover. And you get to the doors, there's 2 doors, and it says the break room's on the left. And I went through the right, and he goes, for some reason, he decided to go... No, not the break room, the conference room. He goes, for some reason, instead of going to the conference room, Stanley decided to take a detour through the employee break room. Oh, what a majestic place this is. Like, it's just sarcastic, you know.
Maybe he thought somebody was making on the mic in the conference room.
Well, it turns into, like, a study of, do you really have free choice and freedom of, like free will, is what they kind of, like, are going for. Because you can get an ending that's a good ending. But most of them end up with you back. Like, it knows it's a game. Like, the narrator says, listen, if you listen to me, things will work out okay. And, like, you start going through at one point, and the narrator's like, wait a minute, this isn't right. You're supposed to be going here. This wall's not supposed to be here. See, something's wrong with the game. Let me reset. And it starts back up again.
What?
Yeah, so there's... It's really neat and very interesting. And, like, one of the endings makes it seem like there's this big mind control conspiracy going on. But then it's like, but it's probably not that. Let's reset again. And it starts you back up again. It kind of reminded me of Portal just a little bit because of like you're exploring where the narrator is, you know.
I gotta say, I kind of like that the whole like interactive choose your own adventure book in a like digital world kind of idea.
I agree. I think that's a great way to do it because you know what's interesting with like Gone Home and the Stanley Parable is they're different.
Different is good.
They're different, but they're good different. This goes back to what we talked about in the last podcast when I said how movie companies and game companies, for the most part, big companies don't like taking a chance on something new because they want to go with what they know makes money.
Or what people won't be angry with.
Right. When people say, oh, Fast and Furious 15, awesome. Because it's Fast and Furious, it's going to have fast cars.
I didn't even see the last one.
I didn't see past 2.
I didn't see 4, I think.
Hey, I like Tokyo Drift.
Oh, Tokyo Drift was good.
I didn't see
Is
that
that 4 or was that 5?
That's 3.
That's 3?
Yeah.
Okay, then I didn't see 4.
4 was Fast and Furious, and it said new model, original parts, or something was the tagline.
That's the one where Michelle Rodriguez dies, right?
She dies in every movie she's in.
Don't ruin it all for me.
She died in Avatar. Why in Avatar when she with her last dying breath and last bit of energy? Why didn't she ram that son of a bitch?
She needed a pretty.
Let herself get shot down.
I don't know.
No, but so when you have these indie games, they're free to try that. They're free to say, let's do something different and see how it works out.
Well, it's an indie game.
Yeah, and it pays off a lot of times, oddly enough. There's a lot of people making 8-bit and 16-bit looking games again, and they're great games. Another one I played, Spelunky. Spelunky? Spelunky. Yeah, Spelunky. It's an 8-bit game, but every time you start it over, the levels are different.
Good.
Or 16-bit, maybe. The levels are always changing.
That's the way with...
It was so long ago, you can't remember.
No, the game we keep talking about, I forgot the name. Oh, God. Talon was just playing it on Steam. UFO Defense, what's it called? XCOM, thank you.
Yeah, but not a lot of games do that.
When you start some of the levels, like when I started the Alien base, it looked different before.
Yeah, a lot of game companies don't want to take that. A lot of companies don't have they put deadlines on the programmers and developers, and they don't have the time to really do that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Man, you got me. You just reminded me of XCOM, Art, and
you're welcome.
Man, I've been 3 knuckles deep in XCOM for the past few weeks.
Have you?
Yeah.
Did you lose Talon?
I have to get back to playing it. I haven't played it in a while.
He lost to multiple talents.
You lost multiple talents. Did you replace Talon and get killed him too?
It goes like this. Like I started naming the guys after people that I knew.
Oh, I must have died right away.
They would all get wiped out.
I'm sorry.
And then one time I was just like, you know what? I'm tired of having it's such a hassle just like naming these people. So I just started playing, and I won. I beat the game, and so I decided that we're not cut out to fight off aliens.
Thanks.
To the actual Spec Ops team.
Maybe it's because our commander doesn't give us the proper orders, not so much us.
Yeah.
Why do you think they fire the coaches?
Again, remember what I just said about freedom of choice?
Yeah. Jesus, Talon.
Remember Wreck-It Ralph?
Actually, I never see that one yet.
Oh, it's great.
I know. It's one of those I got to get on.
So, but Spelunky again, another great. It's a 2D side-scrolling Mario-looking kind of game. It's fun.
Shadow Complex.
No, it's like 16-bit looking.
Which I hope they come up with a part 2.
They never will. Let's see. DuckTales Remastered. Played that.
You know what? Which DuckTales? Is that the one with Donald Duck?
DuckTales 1 with Scrooge McDuck.
No, okay.
And the 3 the 3 little brothers.
Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
Yeah. But DuckTales 1, they remastered it for HD. They're his nephews, but they're brothers.
Triplets.
It's just like it's better than the original because it's remastered a little bit, so there's voiceovers, the sound's better, but when it starts off, it's the legitimate like 8-bit theme. Yeah, and it's great. It's great. It was fun playing it. Isabella loved watching it too. But then she starts trying to press the keys on the keyboard, and it screws me up.
And you have to smack her across the
I'm
head.
like, no, and I go, no, and she goes, yeah. I'm like, fine, hit whatever you want.
Disconnect the keyboard.
I can't. It's a laptop. So it's well done. I haven't finished it. I played a few levels of it. I mean, it was good. I mean, how different is it going to be?
A lot of people had problems with the whole voice acting and everything, and I don't think I would.
You know what? The voice acting probably could have been better. But
did they get the original people?
There was no voice acting in the original game.
But didn't they get the cast of the show?
I'm sure
I don't know who they got. I honestly couldn't tell you.
I'm assuming they're not doing much. They could have been like, hey,
no, you know what? Disney, a lot of people do voiceovers, do them for various shows for years.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't know. I mean, it didn't bother me at all. I was more interested in just the gameplay of it. And
You're
it
not
was
a
fun.
hardcore fan like us.
Apparently not.
want Gizmo Duck.
Let's see. Shadowrun Returns, played that.
How is it?
It's fun. It's definitely, graphically it's dated, and gameplay-wise it's a little dated. And even though Shadowrun is kind of a big name like in the gaming community for like, it started off as board games and there were Super Nintendo games and stuff, it's kind of a...
When you say Shadowrun, I think Blade Runner for some odd reason.
It's kind of that feel. It was an independent developer that made it. And what's nice though, I mean the game wasn't real long. I think maybe 8 to 10 hours. But there's a
storyline?
Huh?
There was a storyline?
Storyline.
Yeah, there's a storyline, and it's not too bad. It's got some twists and turns in it, and you get to hire mercenaries to help you out on missions, and you pick your team. What?
Oh, that reminds me of not Killzone, Mech Warrior 4 Mercenaries.
Well, it's third person. The graphics to me looked like they could have been about 6 years old.
Ooh.
Not bad. I mean, it worked. Turn-based. For those that don't know, Shadowrun is a world where technology and magic exist side by side, and it does have a Blade Runner feel to the cities and stuff. It's like
That's almost a contradiction.
Yeah, it is. So you can get like a hacker, and they can hack systems, and for certain things.
And then the magician says, "Oh, I can't get the access code."
Well, it's not a magician. It's like a mage. It's called something else.
Mage, magician, really? Come on.
Yeah.
He's not a magician. He's a mage.
See, this is why you're getting kicked off. So. I'm the only one that played anything other than these two.
I played this shit, okay?
Yeah, I mean, we'll get to it again.
Yeah, again, yes.
But
Look how I get cut off every
it's a good game. But what I really like is that there is a ton of user created storylines when you finish that one.
Ooh.
There's even people that have made a sequel to it on their own. There's games, there's add-ons that are coming out like as a series where it's like, episode 1, episode. I mean, there's just hundreds of these.
Oh, the last 3 are better than the first.
Yeah. There's
Kind of reminds me of
in fact, someone redid the Super Nintendo version so you could play it on the new one. So I enjoyed it. It was fun. It wasn't XCOM, but it's good. On a scale of 0 to 10, it's a 6.5, 7, probably 6.5. Above average. Paul loves Shadowrun, and he saw me playing it, and he wanted it, and he has a MacBook Pro. He installed Steam.
Oh, I think you told me about that.
He installed the game, and it won't run.
Oh.
It keeps saying not responding. He has Civ 5 installed, that runs, but for some reason the one game he wanted, so he's like, well, I don't understand, can you help me out with this? I'm like, I don't know anything about Mac, and Mac's based off Unix, and I know a little bit about Linux, so I was looking at some stuff and reading these files that people sent him to fix it. Nothing has worked. He's not been able to play it.
You tell him, package it up and buy yourself a Dell. 2 Dells, actually, because you can probably do it now.
I go, why don't you just run Windows XP or 7 as a VM? Because the game doesn't need like a super high amount of video memory. In a VM, I think you could run 500 meg of video memory or something. So if you have a 1 gig card, you can,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, or use Boot Camp and just boot into XP for playing games. I mean, that way everything is, one way or the other. I mean, no, he did it the hard way. Which should have been the easy way, to be honest.
Did he get it to work?
No. So Shadowrun was pretty good. I enjoyed it. Real world racing. So I felt like playing a racing game, right? And I wanted to play it on the laptop, and I have like Need for Speed, The Run, and Most Wanted, a couple of them. I'm like, nah.
Most Wanted.
I'm like, I kind of want to play something else. And I searched, and this thing was cheap. I don't remember how much it was.
The original Most Wanted or the new one?
I don't remember. Well, the new by Criterion because it plays like Burnout.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, what's this? Real world racing. And I normally wouldn't have bought it. It's a top-down racing game where you view from the top. But what they did is they took aerial photographs of cities. You race on the real streets in the real cities. They used the aerial photographs and then made like a 3D image off of it.
So it's like Spy Hunter, except new.
Spy Hunter wasn't done off of real world locations.
But it's on top.
Yeah. It's like that.
Top
but it's like if you're in Berlin, it's really Berlin.
No,
London is actually. So I was like, okay, that's kind of neat.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and that's an indie developer, and graphically, it doesn't look half bad. And the cars, if you know cars, you'll recognize them, but they don't have licensing. So, like, a BMW is a different name, but you could tell it's a BMW,
It's a WMB.
Yeah. So.
Like the whole Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah,
thing.
like the original Grand Theft Auto, yeah. It's fun. It's actually not nearly... I didn't have a lot of hope for it. I mean, like I said, I got it real cheap. And I'm playing it, and I'm like, it's pretty neat how they did it, and the controls aren't bad. You can play with, I think you can use a gamepad or keypad, whatever. And, yeah, it looks a lot better than I thought. And it's a neat idea, and it's kind of a bold idea, not to, like, send people out to a city and have them take pictures and get arrested for terrorism and map it all out, but just to take a photographic top-down image and say, we're building our world on top of this. Mm-hmm. Trees and everything. And the water effects, like, there's rivers, and the water looks really good. Like, there's certain things that look really nice. I was very impressed with that.
What was that called again?
Real World Racing.
Right on.
Interesting.
RWR. Yeah, it was a pleasant surprise. It was enjoyable. I still enjoy it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
PC, right?
I don't know. It might be on other stuff. I know initially it's on PC.
Talon to get on that, right, Talon?
He's probably looking it up right now.
Yeah, I know he is.
And the last one I played was Dust and Elysian Tail, or Elysian Tail. Yeah. Haven't finished it yet. I think about a third of the way through. It's interesting. It's definitely the clock. It's Homer Simpson.
Okay.
It's definitely a Japanese style game because all the characters are some sort of animal. Like it's like, oh, that chick's kind of hot. She's a cat.
But a hot cat.
Ooh, that bunny's hot.
She's not a playboy.
So it's got that,
bunny. Fur in my mouth. Don't need that.
The storyline's not bad, but it reminds me of every other, like, oh, there's a great evil coming to the world, and you used to work for him. Fix it.
What?
You
don't have your memory, and you find out that over the course of the story, you find out you work for this general, and this general's trying to kill this other race out, and the other race is fighting back, but you don't really know who the good and the bad is, because the general's also killing people that are sympathetic to them.
Is the general dog?
I think so.
Yeah, I knew it.
I think so.
It's got to be a dog. General's always a dog.
Yeah, for some reason.
Like some bulldog or something.
Yeah, it's something like that.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
You're right. It's typical now that I think about it.
So it's like a bunch of furries made a video game. It plays neat. You can like chain your attacks and stuff. It's side scrolling, but like graphically better than any of the other ones. But
cool.
It's okay. I did buy a game called Two Brothers. I haven't played it yet though.
Yeah, I heard about it.
Again,
Steam a little bit of playthrough.
See, Steam had this big sale over the holidays, and a lot of games were like $4, $5, and regular price was like $30. So I'm like, well, I'll buy a couple.
Well, you buy like what, 8? You pretty much paid an extra $2 for one.
I bought like 8 or 10.
Yeah.
I spent like $50 on games. I got like 10 games.
Yeah, I know. Jesus. Good job.
So, that's what I played.
I revisited a lot of games.
I did that too.
Onimusha: Dawn of Dreams.
Wow.
Yeah. You know what? Why don't they make another Onimusha game?
Because they're stupid.
No, they were not stupid.
No, they're stupid not to make one.
Oh yeah, they're stupid.
Did you hear about what they did? It's because it's Capcom. Did you hear what they did with Resident Evil?
No, what did they do?
They said that they're really worried about Resident Evil because they say the fan base is too old now.
Oh, fuck you. Really?
Yeah, they say that they're all like 47s and in their 50s, and that they're not going to be playing Resident Evil anymore. So they didn't say they're going to get rid of it, but they said that they're afraid of it, like they're worried about it, and they started. What?
I went to grab some water. What was that? They're afraid of what? Making more of them?
No, they're afraid that no one cares because they think that everyone's too old to play them. They think that the fan base has gone too old.
Then they're really stupid. Because the fan base that played them then is the same fan base that's going to play them now.
Yeah, I know.
Well, after Resident Evil 6, I don't know, I got a bad taste.
Well, no, but I mean, games in general, I mean, to say that the audience is too old, it's not... It doesn't make sense.
They say that they're like in their 50s and the core fan base, and that when they're in the 50s, they're not going to play video games anymore. So they didn't say they're getting rid of it. They said that they've opened up like cafes in Japan and all that stuff, like Resident Evil themed cafes. That's a thing that's been going on in Japan all the time, is opening up cafes based on video games. And they've opened up.
Cool.
They've opened up. Yeah, there's a Dark Souls cafe now.
Do people just run in and grab your fucking coffee and leave with it?
No,
They run and grab your heart.
No, listen. There was some people cosplaying in it, I think, and one of them like ran up behind someone and like stabbed someone in the back or something like that. Not really, but they do in Dark Souls.
Dude, that game's hard as hell.
If they want to resurrect Resident Evil, make it like the first one. Make another trilogy of games based off an evil corporation that's experimenting with something.
They killed them.
Said that,
reboot it?
They said that there's a lot of rumors is that they saw the success of Last of Us, and they're probably going to try to base the next one off of like Last of Us or something like that.
Resident Evil,
Did anybody play Last of Us here?
I played the demo of it.
No.
I played the beginning part of it.
Junior played it. He goes, I don't understand what all the talk's about.
Like what the big deal is?
Yeah.
I
But then
couldn't
he
see the
said
big
to
deal
him,
about Bioshock
to
Infinite.
Sam, he said he didn't like playing it because it reminded him the gameplay of Dishonored, and he didn't like that because you're sneaking around and you kill a guy, yet somehow they know you killed him and they all come after you anyway. Mm-hmm. And I said, "Are you sure it's because you're not bad at gaming?"
Did you really say that?
Yeah, I did. Maybe you're just not good at gaming. He just gave me this look. It was me, him, and Paul. I'm like, I'm just saying. But I mean, I noticed that in Dishonored too. That I'd like kill somebody on a rooftop, and somebody down the block would be like, "Hey, you there?" I'm like, "What? Really?"
I had a silencer on the bitch.
I stabbed him.
I shanked him. He didn't make a sound.
But he said he didn't. He's like, I don't see what the big draw to the game was.
Well,
I think the market's oversaturated with zombie games.
I thought you loved zombie games, John.
I did, but now it's just too many.
Remember, he's like, I was like, you're gonna get sick. He's like, nah, hasn't happened yet.
And it didn't happen yet, and
cool.
now it has. 2 years later, it happened.
It's not cool to like zombie games anymore. It's out.
It got bad when they're trying to put zombies to tell me you should wear your seatbelt. I'm like, what?
Typing of the
Here's
dead.
the thing. I don't think zombies.
It's not the zombies. It's the game that's the problem.
The zombies aren't going to go away. I think what's going to happen next is no. Zombies
The
aren't
way
going to
this
go
sounds,
away.
right?
What's going to happen next is people are just going to. I've seen what a lot of people are doing is they're incorporating zombies into their environment. Like the zombies are the environment around people, and people are the enemies. Like DayZ, like the zombies are there, but they're not the main focus of the game. It's the other people that are going to act like they're nice and then shoot you in the back of the head. It's the people you got to worry about. That's what's going to happen in the future of games is zombies will just be there. And it'll just be, a fact that they'll be there, but they're not going to be the focus.
No,
To
me, what I think the problem is that zombie games are good when it's when it's like an unknown, like you don't know why or what the reason really is. Like you played Left 4 Dead. Left 4 Dead, there's like CDC signs and signs here saying that, but you don't really ever get the whole story about what happened. You just know you have to run.
Yeah.
Left 4 Dead 1 and 2 are like that, and that's what I liked about them. They give you hints of what's going on, but you don't know what really is the thing.
Right.
The game is more focused on like
Survival.
what it actually would be trying to do.
Yeah.
Instead of like, what happened? Like, first
we're
4
about
months
that
when you
later.
live.
Let's get
And
out of
even
here.
like Resident Evil 1, you're playing that game, and even in that game, you're not sure what happened or why. All of a sudden, there's this mutant stuff. You're in that mansion. All kinds of weird shit's happening. Resident Evil 2, you find out more about it. Now, it's like, okay, here's the whole story, and now play. Or now it's, how many zombies can we get on the map? Or how many, it's just...
I'm going to run a train.
They don't seem to have, like... Now to, like, try to get sales, they're like, well, these zombies move fast, and they're not zombies. Zombies don't move fast. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
In Resident Evil 1 and 2, and probably 3 and even up to 4, when you're with the Umbrella Corporation, you got hints of the story throughout all the games. You didn't get the whole story right away. You found out about the T-virus, but you didn't know how far it spread or how far Umbrella stretched over the world. That was cool. That was neat. That is how you make a game series of more than one game. A lot of these, it's just like, okay, well, there was an apocalyptic event, and now there's all these zombies. You have to survive.
Go.
So it's like, well, we're going to give up on the storyline and
here's a knife and a 9mm, barely any bullets.
I mean, and I think that shows in the fact that Telltale Games, who is an adventure gaming company that does not make high action games, has been lauded as making the best zombie game, and it was based off of The Walking Dead, but it was different characters and everything, and it wasn't like a high action adrenaline Dead Island or something.
It's like what Dave was saying about, the zombies are in the environment, but they're not, the foe.
They're not. Well, they're not the only. They're not the only focus. They're not the only problem.
It's more of like a situation.
They're there. It's. I need to get away from them somewhere safe, but in that journey, there's other people that that are going to be my enemy at the same time.
Yeah.
So it's like your house is burning on fire. The focus isn't the fire; it's getting away from the fire, and that's it.
Yeah,
and having a group of people try to keep you in.
Right.
It's
okay.
There's like the Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City was not that great of a game, but the multiplayer is really cool in that it pits two teams against each other on a map, and the same thing with Turok kind of does something. The Turok remake does something like this.
Wow, you're the only one who played it.
It's not that bad of a game, the Turok remake. It's actually an underrated
game. I'm not saying it's bad. I just don't know anyone that played it.
Yeah.
I mean the original. I heard it was actually really good, the original.
I never played the original either.
The original Turok is amazing, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyways, in Operation Raccoon City, it pits two teams against each other. It pits Umbrella and then, U.S. Spec Ops against each other on a map full of zombies. The zombies are just in between.
That I don't mind. But a lot of these games, it just doesn't seem like... Story-wise is what I'm saying with a lot of these. What's the story of Last of Us?
I haven't played it. I beat it. I can't make a judgment on it.
I barely remember the beginning. Like I said, I played the demo and barely remembered.
And I think part of the thing that I liked about the Resident Evil games was it's a viable reason you would have zombies.
What about because aside from being so deep into XCOM, I've also been playing Half-Life, Half-Life 1.
Oh, great game.
In that one, you are a part of the reason why there's all this shit happening.
Yeah, and you know what else is great about that game is about how far have you ever played it before?
Yeah.
Okay, midway through, they send a rescue team in. Basically, that rescue team is there to sterilize you, all the other people in there, and the aliens. So midway through Half-Life, you're actually not only fighting that alien invasion, you're fighting SWAT team, people also. Yeah. I mean, that's another... Half-Life, to me, is still a definitively great example of how a game should be.
And, on the topic of, you were saying that a lot of the games don't need to, explain what happened. And that game, it makes sense that you know what happened, because you were fucking there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that goes back to what I said with Left 4 Dead. You don't know what happened, because you weren't one of the scientists. You weren't there. You didn't see it. Yeah. You just know shit started happening, and I got to get out of here.
The shit has hit the fan, you're trying to dodge it.
Yeah. And Half-Life 1 and 2, still to me, if you're going to make a first-person shooter that has a solid single-player game and a good multiplayer element, because let's be honest, Half-Life's multiplayer, you were able to put laser trip mines on the top of, ladders, so people go climbing up the ladder and blow up.
Nah.
Okay? But they are, classic examples of this is what you do right. I mean, there were still some little issues, but most of those two games are two of the most solid first-person shooters I've ever played.
Yeah, they're pretty good. I approve.
And the physics in Half-Life 2 when that game came out, you pick up a can and throw it at the security people and stuff, and then they'd come and beat you. I mean, it was pretty well done. But yeah, zombie games to me, I don't know. I look at a lot of these and I'm like, I think a lot of them it's because they're focusing on further after what happens. Further after whatever the event is, now they're focusing on months down the road, not during the event or
Well, Last of Us, the beginning of it takes place during the outbreak.
Yeah, because
and then it skips ahead.
I don't remember that.
But that's probably the fun part.
Well, I like their zombies. Their zombies are pretty cool because they were basically it was an advanced form of cordyceps fungus. And cordyceps is that fungus that will attach onto ants and stuff.
Oh, it makes it go all the way to the top of a stem and then get eaten by another bird, and that's where it lays its egg or some bullshit like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
I've heard about that.
So it's a viable reason of it's a viable way of
that
something
is
happening.
a brilliant way to make a zombie.
Yeah, that's one of the few ways that I would actually believe zombies. Like, the whole, like, idea of, like, zombies just coming back to life, that doesn't make sense.
No, because
Like,
once you're dead,
basically,
I mean, there's no blood, you're embalmed. I mean,
tell you, that's not possible.
Well, that's what the whole reanimation.
well, that's what I mean.
process is.
Your body's embalmed. Your muscles are rigor mortis. They can't move. So how would you? The only ways I find viable are what Talon and Dave just said.
Mm-hmm.
Some weird outer space thing,
Some,
and
or
so,
28 days later.
what was that?
Rage.
Rage
Well, yeah, I was
zombies,
going to say, or a government, or a medical, or not medical, but a research facility doing things they shouldn't. But even then, you're only going to reanimate the people that have been recently dead, or it's going to turn people into that. 28 Days Later, I didn't care for because I didn't like the fact that they moved so fast. I mean, they weren't really zombies; they were like people with rabies, kind of.
Yeah, that's what it was.
I mean, that's kind of how they were.
That's, to me, that's as close to, like, what we think of as zombies that we're gonna realistically get, though.
Are you planning something?
I don't know, Talon, because I mean, there was a whole thing about like Louisiana and like all the voodoo people and stuff, and they have people that like go into trances that almost act and move like old school zombies. It's weird.
Yeah, but that doesn't transfer through bites.
I don't know,
Bath
I would hope
salts.
not.
Bath salts. That's all I gotta say.
but yeah, there you go. Yeah, but for a zombie movie, it didn't work for me because that's not what I think zombies. When I think zombies,
Well, dude, some stupid ghetto guy tried to make bath salts, created a super strain of something, and created zombies.
that happened.
Bam!
Hey,
Ghetto zombies. They're called gombies.
That's like
Get high off of bath salts.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
But World War Z, my issue that I took, they try to make it realistic in that, okay, the U.S. thought they were too good to get hit by it, and they thought they were prepared, and they were told this rabies vaccine would stop it, but it didn't. But when you watch how the zombies move and attack, the human body physically cannot do what it does in that. The bones would all shatter. It just wouldn't work.
The movie?
Yeah.
The movie?
In the movie.
The movie has nothing to do with the book.
No, I know.
Right, like they became like a tidal wave of zombies.
Yeah, your body can't do that. Your body.
I didn't want to watch the movie after I saw those previews.
Not without CGI.
I thought it looked horrible. The thing is, the way physics on this planet work, your body can't. If you had 5,000 people standing on top, your body would be crushed to dust. Your bones would not. You would not move.
Mm-hmm.
So you cannot have a wall of them turn into a tidal wave like that and sustain it. And quite honestly, shooting things slows it down and causes them to fall traditionally. big enough bullets.
Yeah, I saw it, and I'm like...
But I'm looking at
this
how that's
doesn't look
working.
right.
I'm like, no, I didn't care for that.
No, screw you,
Because
Brad Pitt.
and quite honestly,
That's
it
moved
looked,
way too fast.
they moved faster than humanly possible. They withstood the laws of
Zombily
physics,
possible, you
or
mean.
zombily possible. They withstood the laws of physics, which no, not going to happen. And it just looked too fake.
CGI, dude.
But it looked like bad CGI. It looked like CGI from 10 years ago.
Yeah, I know.
The
There was
book is the best zombie thing I've ever read. And the zombies in the book are not like the zombies in the movie.
That's what I was going to ask. I was going to
I'd
ask
say-
about that.
I would say that I was enjoying the book a lot.
Yeah, the book is really good.
But that's how it usually is. Books usually are better.
Usually.
But yeah, I
The
looked
thing
at it.
is, They
Was
they
it?
saw something that had a fan base, and they bought the rights to it,
And
then
they
they
exploited
just made them. They just screwed it. They raped it.
They
They
said,
raped it.
hey, here's this book that's pretty popular. This book has different ideas in it. So let's take the name, put it on something that's exactly like everything else that's out there, and sell it.
Yep, that's what they did.
In 2006, how old were you?
2006.
You had already started playing Halo with them.
No, I barely met Talon on Xbox 360.
I thought you played Halo. Oh no, Halo 2. Yeah, Halo 2 was
did I
on
meet you on Halo 2,
3.
Talon? Or was it? I met you on
2.
3,
It was
right?
on 2.
No, I think I met Talon on 3.
We were playing each other. We were playing
Two?
together in Halo 2.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
But I don't think I really talked to you that much. It wasn't until I played in 3 that I saw you on. I'm like, I'll invite Nighthawk.
I don't think people talked as much on Xbox One as they did on 360.
Oh, I talked a lot on Xbox One. And
Did you
Halo
really?
2?
A lot of people I know didn't.
I had the headset.
Well, there
Most
wasn't a
people I
party
know
system.
really talked a lot more on Halo 3.
Well,
No, there was eventually a party system, wasn't there?
No, there was a party system on 2.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. Oh no, not like a party system. You had to join like my
Yeah.
but like it couldn't form. Yeah,
No, okay.
yeah, but
People did talk. Way
yeah,
more
but I
on
think I
360
started playing more with Talon on 3 when it came out.
when he was a little boy.
Oh yeah, how old were you, Talon? And 3 came out.
Art played with Talon as a little boy.
Oh shit! When Halo 3
Weren't you
came
like
out,
14, 13?
somewhere around there.
Oh my god, I've known Talon for so long.
Tell me about it. So this episode was almost all games.
Right
I
on.
could throw in a movie.
No, we had a couple of those thrown in too.
Oh, Saul, what did we see? Talon? Wolf of Wall Street?
Oh, that's a good movie.
I heard it said so many fucks in there, like the movie that said the most fucks ever.
Wow, that's a bold statement.
That's what they said. That's like
No, I'm not doubting it. I'm just saying, wow.
Should get an Oscar for that.
yeah,
Nice.
that alone.
Anyways, we're definitely at our limit for what we should be.
Fine.
So we're gonna
You're
go.
gonna edit some of
We
this.
came back strong, John.
What was that?
We came back strong.
We did.
Hard and strong.
Yes, we did.
Kept
Now,
coming
now,
back
in
and
two,
forth.
now in
back
2
and
weeks,
forth.
let's try to match it in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I know, right?
So, anyways, that was episode 4 from Gamers with Love, and this is John and Talon
Art
and Dave and Art
And my cell phone.
and Art's cell phone
And my wiener.
and Dave's wiener. And remember, Dave is on Match. Dave is on Match.com,
Yes, look for him
and we'll talk to you later.
somehow. I don't know how.